What up and welcome, Golden Era. We got a Bucks Warriors showdown on tap for you today. We are in Milwaukee. Dwayne Qualls, Javon Rule, our big matchup. The Bucks have been struggling this season. They've been really great when Dwayne Qualls has been playing. They have been less than great when he's been injured, and he had a leg injury that took him out for a couple months. It's why he's not going to be eligible for All-NBA, but this is a Bucks team that's really good. They made the swing last summer to go out and get Luka Doncic. They've had a huge improvement from that man right there, Jules Petrus, their 6th overall pick a couple seasons ago. Now, Petrus, great 3-and-D wing, or big, really. It's not a wing, but does not rebound well. Of course, this was the Bucks. They made the deal to get Marcus Young Jr. 2 summers ago as well. That was in exchange for Malik Hightower to head out to Phoenix, as Luka Doncic burying a triple here. Luka, at age 36, is still cooking for the Buckaroos. Really great season. I mean, his game, if he can stay healthy and stay fit, his game just translates so well. It's a nice little dump over to Cameron Kabongo. Kabongo was the big pickup as Doncic goes by, the rookie Dele Bagley. Kabongo was the pickup for this Bucks team at the trade deadline. A necessary one. They really needed to be able to add some depth to this group, particularly depth on the bench, right? Their starting lineup was pretty decent, but the addition of Kabongo and the injury to Adrian Harper allowed Jules Petrus to move back to the 5, where he's just better positioned. But a Bucks team deep. Here's another triple from Luka Doncic. That falls as the Bucks run out to an early advantage here over the Golden State Warriors. But back to the Bucks. What do they do well? They've got 2 elite guys at the top. They've got a lot of great defensive players. Dwayne Qualls is a former Defensive Player of the Year. You have Marcus Young Jr., who is a great defender, and now you've got some depth on this team as they smash another 3 up by 8 early. This one kicks out. Triple will go, and the Milwaukee Bucks up by 11 early on against the Golden State Warriors, who are still without Deontay Dixon. He's out with a hip injury, as this is a great steal right there from Jaheim Briggs. Kuminga up to Briggs, and he gets that to go as the Warriors try to cut into this lead midway through the second quarter. Inside it goes, and that's going to be another good finish inside from Jules Petrus. Petrus is a guy that you probably feel pretty good about if you're Milwaukee. As Javon Rule gets rolling, they'll need him to get rolling if they're going to make a comeback in this one. Goes right past the defender and then up and in on Luka Doncic. Javon's got to be the star without Dixon. I think there's been some conversation as Dwayne Qualls rattles an off-balance 3 home. There's been some conversations around Golden State and what that hierarchy is, right? A couple weeks ago was reported as Briggs gets that to go. A couple weeks ago reported that maybe there's some unrest with Jonathan Kuminga and the current pecking order as Golden State goes inside, somehow can't finish. Lynn Gardner gets blocked. Here come the Bucks now in transition, under 25 seconds to go in the first half. There's Qualls trying to navigate inside, left wide open. That's Marcus Young Jr., and a bad sequence of events for Golden State. The Warriors, though, Kuminga maybe on the way out. I mean, this feels interesting for a Warriors team that's been struggling a little bit lately. They haven't been able to get healthy, and Kuminga, there's some conversation about, does he want to stay there? He doesn't really like being the 3rd guy. He doesn't make an all-star game for the first time in 9 seasons as Marcus Young Jr. again left wide open as he hits that. Marcus Young Jr. will remember, if you go back to that Warriors-Suns conference finals 2 seasons ago, as Dwayne Qualls goes right past Javon Rule there, the Warriors really targeted Marcus Young Jr. and said, you're going to have to beat us. As a great finish there from Petrus inside, getting the offensive board. And that kind of spelled his way out. Here's Aiden Lucas. If you are a deep cut fan, Aiden Lucas, the 7'6" behemoth. Can't move that well, but this man is maybe one of the best guys to watch out on the court just because of the uniqueness of his game. But Marcus Young Jr. was moved over right to to Phoenix. He was kind of the scapegoat for that team, as a great three there from Jalen House goes, and that's what makes him here. The Warriors really targeted him a lot in that series, said, hey, shoot the threes, we dare you to. Unfortunately for Golden State, in this one, he is hitting those. Another one, Marcus Young Jr. gets it to go, and just as the Warriors creep back into this thing, make it a three-point game, Milwaukee answers. Here comes Lucas as we start the fourth quarter, 66-60. Dumps it inside, but he turns the ball over. A lot of double teams come Aiden Lucas's way when he's in the paint for interesting reasons, as there's an obvious block there from Lucas. Here they go again. This one, though, kicked out to Jalen House. House lines it up. Can't get it to go. They've been sitting there at 6 points for quite a while here in the fourth quarter, driving in and up over the outstretched arm of Aiden Lucas. Inside again they go. Double team comes, flips it over to the wing, and that is a big three from Lynn Gardner to get things rolling here. 6 minutes left in the third. Deep three-pointer. Bucks have been unconscious from deep in this basketball game. Aiden Lucas again, the double. Jalen House benefits, wide open. Won't go, but the big offensive board. Aiden Lucas gets it to happen as the Bucks now staring at a 4-point advantage. Just over 5 to go. Who else but Marcus Young Jr. won't go this time? And the vacuum that is Aiden Lucas up top gets it. Dumps it inside. Double team comes. Javon roll, wide open, triple wing, won't go. And I think that's been the difference in this one so far. The Warriors unable to hit threes as Dwayne Qualls rattles home a wide open mid-ranger, and the Bucks have just hit their jumpers so much better. Here's Aiden Lucas, nice find to Jalen House, cutting inside, cuts it down to a 4-point game. Petrus finding who else? Marcus Young Jr., and who again hits a triple. Fantastic night here for Marcus Young Jr. Kick out, Javon roll for the answer. Gets it to go. 74-70. Under 4 to go. Halfway through this fourth quarter. I don't know. Interesting double team, and Marcus Young Jr. left wide open to get that one. Good find up top. Swing it around. Lynn Gardner the third. Corner three won't go, as Golden State has been unable in this one to make the jumpers, as Luka Doncic almost got that one to rattle home. Would have pushed this thing back to 9 with 3 to go. Warriors have not been able to stay close in this one, and a breakout lead here. Here comes Dwayne Qualls with a poster on Lynn Gardner. And this thing back up to 8. Here comes Javon Roll trying to find some type of room. Tough shot, won't go. Offensive board goes up, blocked by a suffocating Milwaukee defense in this one. Tough steal attempt. Here's Qualls, off bounce, jumper. Falls, and it's back to 10. So Golden State trailing in this one by as many as 6. Kind of kept it close in that one. They have been unable to get the big buckets, and I think a lot of that you can point to the fact that Dwayne Qualls isn't out there. Or excuse me, that Deontay Dixon isn't out there. He's their second guy. I mean, he's often their first guy. And you talk about, hey, Jonathan Kuminga says, I want the ball. I should be this superstar. I should be this. I should be that. Well, in a moment that they can get rolling, as Kabongo lines up and buries what's going to probably be the back-breaking three, Jonathan Kuminga in this game just has not shown up as Kingston gets that one to go on the pick and roll. You've got to have a second guy as Doncic buries a triple. You've got to have a second guy that can step in when your star is struggling, and Kuminga hasn't been that guy right now. And that's a 32-year-old Kuminga who's probably not going to make an All-NBA team, who didn't make an All-Star team, and that's just not ideal for this guy. All right, we just saw the Golden State Warriors fall 132-118 to the Milwaukee Bucks. Big night from Luka Doncic. Big night from Marcus Young Jr. Big night from Dwayne Qualls. The big three of the Milwaukee Bucks, as they've been riding out as of late, really dominates. The Warriors, they have their struggles. Of course, Deontay Dixon does not play in this one. Jonathan Kuminga, 24 points. Javon Roll, 22, 6, and 14. Really, really rough night from Javon Roll inside the three-point arc. It's kind of been the MO for his season. Let's fast forward to March 9th. That's where we are right now. The Golden State Warriors have really struggled. They would lose 2 more to Phoenix and to Dallas before picking up some nice wins, but not great competition over the Hawks and the Wizards on March 4th and March 7th before a really dominant win against the Lakers. Of course, there's no Jonathan Kuminga. That's the big news right now for the Golden State Warriors. He's out with another hip injury. It's the second time he suffered a hip injury just this season. Hip injuries in Golden State have really not gone together well at all. Kuminga's missed time. Dixon missed a little bit of time with a hip injury himself. But they got a big win against the Lakers to round it out. Huge night from Javon Roll if you look at just the counting numbers. But he really struggled, did not make any 2-point field goals. He goes 20 for 20 from the free throw line. Just a massive fourth quarter where Golden State pulls away. He shoots it great from three-point land. But this is the challenge with Golden State, is finding somebody to score on ball in the paint. Deontay Dixon does that. I mean, this guy is putting up an MVP caliber season. You just look at his shooting chart when he gets inside. 75% within 6 feet of the rim. When he's driving to the left side, which is interesting as a righty, 57%, but just look at in that 6 to 10 range, pretty consistent there. But just look, when he gets inside the paint, this guy is absolutely dominant. You compare that with Javon Roll, has not been as good in the mid-range, 62 when he gets inside the paint. That's good. That's not nearly 3/4 of the time. And then it's that mid-range and 6 to 10 feet range for Javon Roll where he's really struggled. And he did that against the Lakers. But he shoots great from deep. I mean, he's a massive 41% shooter from deep. He's scoring 27 points per game. But they need to find somebody, and with Kuminga out, that's going to be a question mark for this Warriors team. But they got a good night from Jalen House, Lynn Gardner, and Caden Dickerson. They'll need that if they want to win. For the Lakers, though, this is a little bit of what you have come to expect from them. Cameron Mercer just takes 6 shots. This is a guy that's supposed to be your MVP caliber guy. Can't shoot it from deep. Does hit 2 threes in this one, as does D'Angelo Ion. He goes 2 for 2. Also a guy that doesn't typically hit, but this is just not the shot portfolio that you want to see if you're the Lakers. 22 shots out of Kareem Robinson. That's not bad, but Mercer and Ion combined for 14. I think that's a big question mark. But that's the challenge with this offense for the Los Angeles Lakers as we look at them and head over to the standings. This is a Los Angeles Lakers team that's kind of up and down. They're in this, we'll get to in a second, is this really unique second level of the Western Conference. We talked about it before. There's 3 guys that can't shoot the ball, and Roman Harmon has had an improving but not great season, 31%. If this team is going to win, they've got to find a way to get things rolling from deep. Back to Golden State. They're trying to get things rolling now. This has been, for the last month, just not a good basketball team. You start with really this game against Denver, the worst team in basketball, that you win by 1. And you've got losses to the Sixers, the Hornets, the Blazers, who are not good, the Cavs, who are mediocre, the Venom, who are mediocre, and then 2 good teams, the Bucks and the Suns, and then a struggling Mavs squad before you get 3 in a row. All of that has set up what's really unique in the Western Conference, so let's go there. I'm essentially looking at the Western Conference in 3 buckets in terms of the postseason teams. Bucket 1 is Seattle through Golden State, and the jury's out of Minnesota, who's had their struggles around the trade deadline. They brought in Jacob Cuxis, took a minute for him to get rolling, but they're back into it. They're trying to jump up into that Group 1, and that's Seattle, who's been riding this elite defense, 101.2 points per game. This Kings team that's riding a great defense coupled with one of the best offenses in the entire league. Number 4 in scoring in the Western Conference as they sit there. And then OKC and Golden State. And I think if you're trying to game out who you want to face, it's probably Oklahoma City, because they don't profile as a team that you love or that you would hate to see. Tobias Bell is a great scorer, but he cannot defend. A 6-foot guard that just does not play defense. SGA, in his age 36, even having a great campaign, not a great defender. Davis Montgomery is kind of your jack of all trades, and of course you're currently without Noja Sosnauskas, who might be, when healthy, their best player. But Oklahoma City, you probably look at it and say, we think we can get through them. If you're one of these teams down below, the Lakers, the Jazz, San Antonio, Minnesota, any of those teams, if you're eyeing, hey, we could run into Oklahoma City, you probably really like that. otherwise, I'm not in love with this. You got Alshon Webb, who's an all-star. You got Alexander Sangalia. They're both 20-point-per-game scorers with this just litany of defenders that they can throw out. I thought the addition of Franklin Knox was fantastic for this group. Moves Phoenix Jones to the bench, gives them a little bit of depth for this team as the number one group. And again, their defense is great. The Sacramento Kings, you've got an NBA Finals MVP in Jason Sanders. You've got Tyrese Alston, one of the greatest defenders, point guard defenders in the league right now. You got R.J. Wallace, Defensive Player of the Year. Like you look at the Kings, you say, I don't want to deal with them in a 7-game series. Then, of course, Golden State, when they're healthy, you don't want to deal with Deontay Dixon. You don't want to deal with Javon Rule. When Jonathan Kuminga, he misses time, he doesn't get his all-star nod for the first time in nearly a decade, this team still's got shooters. You got Jalen Howard. Like, this is not an easy team to go through. Oklahoma City doesn't profile like that, but that's Group 1, and it'll be interesting to see how they play out. Group 2 is kind of just Minnesota right now, and it's going to be where do they end up? Do they become part of Group 1 and eliminates it, or do they fall down to this lower tier? They've struggled as of late. They haven't been as good, but the addition of Jacob Kuksix has been good for them. They needed somebody who can score on ball. The return of Malcolm Knight, who's a great three-point shooter, and then their front court. It's an old-school front court. Abiz Ojale next to Darian Hairston. They don't shoot the ball well, 32% each. Really great start from Ojale that has not carried over as of late. But you look at this team as we get a guest on the show here with Miss Moody coming in. Come on, don't show yourself like that. There you go. This is a good Minnesota squad. So do they fall down to this? And this is just where the Western Conference is unfair. San Antonio is a really good basketball team. Mateo Delgado, Carlos Fernandez, Sidney Cross. The Los Angeles Lakers are still a really good basketball team, even if I disagree with the way that they go. I would probably have Cameron Mercer playing the 5, try to find other shooters. Jay Kingston. Jay Kingston should be starting. They don't have Ian Bledsoe right now because of injury, but they've got shooters on that team. Utah, Darius Dixon, Jalen Justice, two of the best players of this generation. Then Phoenix Suns. This is a team that was a quarter away from winning the NBA Finals. They led by 19 points at halftime of last season's NBA Finals on the road in Game 7 against Orlando, and then couldn't close it out. I don't want to face them in a 7-game series. That's going to be the jockeying. Who can get to number 6? But we're going to miss one of these 4 teams. Maybe if the wheels just completely fall off Minnesota, we're going to miss one of these 4 teams in the postseason. That's a discredit, but that's what's to watch in the Western Conference. Take a peek at the rest of the way. Houston, Vegas. It's a race to the bottom. I think of these teams, Houston probably wants to more than anybody else. There's 2 things. Houston wants to be number 10. You've got Dede McDyess, who just took number 1 overall, who's been having a really great rookie season. You've got Darnell Gist, who in his 4th year is playing just outrageous 3-and-D big man basketball. And then you got some other nice pieces on this group. Cole Herringody, first-round pick from a couple seasons ago. There's just a lot of talent on this team. Malik Roll, former top pick. So Rockets probably want to get there. Meanwhile, the Pelicans, they want to get as far down as they can. The Pelicans, their first-round pick goes to Golden State unless it ends in the top 10. And this is a New Orleans squad that could use another first-round pick. You've got the injury right now to Ty Outlaw, who's been their starting point guard. You have the injury to rookie Simon Beneman. He's out. This is a young team, so you're probably trying to just take one more big swing at a top pick and figure out what this group has. But New Orleans definitely wants to hold on to it. Eastern Conference, the big storyline to watch in the Eastern Conference is what the heck's going on with Orlando, man. Orlando has been the defending champions. This was a team that was above 500. They were contending at the beginning of the year. And again, I said this after the Warriors Magic game. This team can't play defense. I mean, you look at that offense is 117.6. That sits you number 4 in the Eastern Conference. Points against is 116.9. That's one of the worst in the Eastern Conference. And we'll get to why Milwaukee's a different breed there with very identical numbers. But this team is falling apart. They've got to find a way to try to get their offense back together, or rather their defense back together. I just don't know if they can turn that around in time. The good news for them is what's around them isn't good, right? The Knicks, they had a splashy offseason. They've had to win 3 games in a row just to get to 4 games under 500. I mean, the wheels were falling off for this squad, but they've got a shot to get into that thing. I've said this. This is a team that feels like a year away. You've got these great two pieces, but the rest of this roster is just so bad. Like, I mean, they've got 6 guys who I would pencil in as rotation players on a playoff team. That's it. Every other team's got 7, 8, 9 of those guys. New York doesn't. And then I think it's time we start taking the Bulls serious, man. The Bulls have been really great. They're running away, on the verge of running away with the Eastern Conference. This defense is elite. You just look at, like, you want to talk depth. Stokes, Motley, Cavante Kennard in his second year has been a problem on the offensive side when they allow him to be. Rowan Jameson has been really nice. He just signed an extension. He's a reliable piece off the bench. Aaron Larson is a rookie. Like, this is just such a deep team that you don't have to really worry about all these pieces down below it. This team's dangerous. This team's playing good basketball. The Bulls are serious, and if I'm penciling in a Bulls Celtics NBA Finals, I think we can get there. Pacers and Nets and the Bucks, who have been playing good since Qualls returned, they've got a say in it, but I think the Bulls have to be the heavy favorite to make the Eastern Conference and subsequently NBA Finals. I don't know who I'm picking right now in the Western Conference. It's just too good. It's just too good right now to be anything. Quick award race. This is what the pundits have. Robert Mack's been playing good. He's really gotten himself into that conversation because of how good this team has been as of late. Ojale was the early frontrunner for this. I think the Warriors' recent struggles have really knocked Dixon and Javon Rule down a peg or two. The counting numbers for Javon Stokes in Chicago, for Alshon Webb in Seattle, just aren't good enough to get them into that conversation. Ojale's, it really feels like it's his to lose considering how much he's carried this Minnesota team. Dede McDyess is the frontrunner for that one. I'd probably take Javon Boston, but I think it's probably going to come down because the supporting cast in Houston's better than what is in Los Angeles. This is a Los Angeles team that went pot committed to try to get JBJ, and I mean, look, it's turned out to be a good decision for the Clippers. Sixth man, I don't know if it's going to be Ronan Diogu. Depoy, that feels like the right spot to go at this point in the season. Still feels wide open, but again, you look, that's the difference maker that Tyrese Olsen is. That's why you don't want to play the Kings headed into this. And then Alshon Webb, a well-deserved front runner for most improved player. Still don't know what's going on with the Jazz. I don't know why this team can't put it together as they sit there just completely out of that top 6 mix. They can chase down San Antonio. It's not impossible. You needed to win those last 2 games. These 4 teams, it's going to be a race to the finish line. Those 4, these top 4, and which foursome do the Minnesota Timberwolves end up going into?